chance to celebrate some of the great history of craft brewing that we have out in this region. Got a small and intimate audience, so I know that these guys won't hold back, and the fur, you know, some of the stories will fly, let's say.
We were already under construction, and we got the sign onto our awning before somebody told us it was totally illegal to make beer in Delaware commercially. So, you know it's illegal, right? Oh, and so we had to drive up to Dover and quickly write bills to make it legal to brew in Dover. We skipped that little step, but we got it done. We got it done.
We actually had a homebrew hydrometer and didn't have the temperature on it, so our gravities were much, much higher than we originally thought.
Which means for the layman out here, what's that mean? What was the result?
That means we had a little bit, Yards had a little extra kick in the beginning. It was about 7% rather than 5 3/4.
When Ron and I first found our location for our brewery, it was a great industrial site. It was perfectly set up for brewing beer. It was a little bit off the beaten track, and it had been abandoned for 6 years. So my dad, who understands facilities and all that such stuff, was our advisor on this, because it's, you know, it takes a family team effort to build a treehouse. He and my mom came out to take a look at it, and my mom would not get out of the car. She sat in the car and she cried when she looked at Victory Brewing Company, because she was like, this is where my son just totally f***s it all up.
We spent 2 years just trying to put the whole project together and raise the money, and then it was kind of, we were basing everything at the time, all the industry was going 50% a year, so we're like, okay, that's pretty easy, you know, 50% each year, this is really sweet. And like I said, we opened when, you know, the thing kind of hit the wall, so it was, you know, having your house and everything, what's the old saying, I slept like a baby, I woke up every 2 hours crying, and that lasted about the first 2 years.
All of us up here have great humility and are very, very thankful for you, the hardcore beer consumers that would come to an event like this, for asking for our beer at retail, because it was very difficult to gain distribution. We're a class of 95, 96. In that era, we had no pull at distribution. We were an also ran within whatever distributors we got. And it's wonderful that breweries like a Southern Tier or a Founders or a Shorts or a, you know, awesome small, the brewery, right? Greg out in LA, near LA. It's almost like understood that you can find distribution if you're doing really exotic, flavorful stuff as a brewery today. But frankly, this class here, this class went through real difficult battle just getting our beer to market, that I don't know that today that the newer brewers really can feel that pain, right, Tom?
Yeah, honestly, in 1996, there was only one distributor that was stoned enough to take our beer, and that was Eddie Friedland. He took all of us.
In more ways than one.
You know? I mean, yeah, we were not getting a sit down with Penn or a Riglio at that point. I mean, we were going with the guy who was doing local craft beer, and it got our foot in the door in all the places we needed to be at that time. And then the growth of the micro industry kind of brought us to the point where we were actually a viable breweries for these distributors to look at. So.
You know, I would love to travel back in time to some of our early manager meetings in our restaurant and say, what the F are you guys thinking? Because we were patting ourselves on the back going, oh, we're so good, we're great. And the stuff we did, the way we managed the restaurant back then, we would have fired ourselves today.
Fired yourselves. So Mark, one of your better or worse decisions when you opened up Westchester was involving Victory Brewing Company, because you guys did some significant business with us with Hop Devil Ale and Golden Monkey. How did the Golden Monkey work out for you there?
It didn't work out so well.
And how is that?
I tell Bill this story. The Golden Monkey, of course, everybody knows, and we put it on tap there, and and it was, you know, it was like heroin for some of our employees.
Yeah,
And,
shift beer is not a good idea with Golden Monkey.
There were some terminations of Iron Hill employees associated with the drinking of the Golden Monkey. Especially when you're yelling obscenities at your manager in the middle of the restaurant after drinking Golden Monkey. It's usually a fireable offense.
We only got an HR director maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and she always chuckles when she hears for our entire first 12 months in business, our entire HR policy, we had one rule, which was no drug deals on the clock.
Failure is not an option. Of course, we didn't know how to succeed, and we were cobbling stuff together in order to make success a reality. But like you guys just said, failure was not an option. You just did everything you could to survive, keep your heads above water.
I'm sure everyone here experienced this, but we ran out of money about 2 months before we opened and had a lot to do. You know, I think for all of us, it starts with this passion, you know, and you don't think of the business side of it at all. You get caught up in the passion of it.
Here's to Philadelphia Beer Week. Thank you guys for coming out for this.
Cheers.